Have a warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we're tasting an old friend, a Glendronach Sherry Cask Matured, 18 years of age, 46% ABV, at a price of €158.50 here in Central Europe, probably 1 or 2 or 3 euros more in the country where you live due to higher alcohol taxes. The Glendronach is a small distillery or medium-sized distillery, quite old, and well, changed proprietors over the years, and they lay silent for some years, but now they are again into production since the early 2000s. Don't know exactly when they restarted fabrication, so that the Glendronach whiskey is now completely produced under the leadership of the new proprietor. And they stayed to the old ages of the whiskey. So there is the 12-year-old, 15-year-old, and an 18-year-old, and going on 21 years, 25 years. But there, the supply is very, very scarce due to, well, the mothballing of the distillery in between in those years. Glendronach is very famous for its maturation in sherry casks, and the distillery was founded by James Allardyce. It is still on the back label, but the profession and the specialty of this person vanished from the history of the distillery. James Allardyce delivered its whiskey in direct sales to Aberdeen, not far away, and there to the red light district. So he supplied the whiskey for the bars, the etablissements, and so on. So this is something which which isn't very popular in the Anglo-Saxon history. Glendronach produces with the typical pot stills, of course, and then they have warm tubs for the condensation of the alcoholic vapors rising up from the pot stills, and these warm tubs lead to a more intense whiskey. And when you bottle this whiskey with 46% ABV, then you have a strength from the alcohol. Then you bottle with this warm tubs condensation, and finally, for 18 years, you get an immense amount of aromas into this whiskey. So this is one of the very, very intense ones. And I had that whiskey decades ago, and here as well on the channel, and it was really, really good. There are bottlings from Glendronach on the market which combine the maturation of Oloroso and Pedro Ximénez sherry casks. The difference is the Pedro Ximénez sherry cask, they have a sweet component in it, and the Oloroso sherry cask, they have a fruity component in it. So I think the 21-year-old has this Pedro Ximénez sherry cask influence in it as well, and had been already quite expensive, and I think will start to be more expensive than ever before. Glendronach does not color its whiskey. That's a point. So here you really get a lot of sherry cask influence. So I think there's a very lot of first fill sherry casks in this whiskey, because other whiskies with sherry cask maturation over 18 years are a lot lighter in color. And this is due to the multiple usage of sherry casks. If you use it one time, only just one time, first fill after the sherry matured in it, then you get a very dark color and a very intense aroma. And if you fill it a second and a third time, then the influence of the cask or of the sherry from the cask is very small, but the influence from the wood, from the oak, is still present. So I think here we will see quite a big amount of first fill sherry cask in this whiskey. Sherry on the nose. Who would have guessed that? Very good cork, excellent quality. So the first is dark fruitiness. So this is typical for a sherry cask maturation, that you have this dark oxidized fruits like dried plums, dates, figs. And here we have this dark fruit compote combined with a caramel sugar, light sweetness, is said to have Muscovatus sugars. I had those lately at a sugar mill, and these darker sugars, they taste weird, and that's not my favorite, no, not at all, but I don't have this very dark sugar in it. It's more a caramel sugary note in it. And then there are little nuts in it, which is very, very typical for the Rosso sherry casks, that you have a nuttiness in it. And here, officially is said, it's roasted walnut bread. So the bread means there is maltiness in it. Of course, it's a malt whiskey. And walnut, well, you sometimes have hazelnut, then you have walnut, sometimes pecan nuts. And this is nuttiness. I would say complex nuttiness. I wouldn't say this is walnut, no. And in the back, very much in the back, is some orange note. Yeah, cheers. Very friendly and smooth for this 46%. So it's not that harsh, no alcohol attacking, but then the spiciness of the oak arrives, and then there is a definite oakiness in the long aftertaste, the oakiness. If you smell it on an empty sherry cask, then you have this oakiness together with the nuttiness, and the fruitiness you can't smell directly at the cask, though at the empty cask, just after draining the sherry. Or the fruitiness will appear in the whiskey. The aftertaste, a little bit of sweetness again, little syrup, dates, turning over into a late dryness, probably from the oak. Flowery fragrance in the nose, combined with vanilla. Very, very good. Yeah, definitely we will see this whiskey again for the best of the month. Yeah, definitely. So this is a really, really good one. It's smoother than the 15 years old. The 15-year-old shows a more distinct cask character. This one is smoother. Yeah, 18 years of age. So that's it for today. Catch you next time.